The kingdom of Lyra was radiant, the streets adorned with silks and lanterns as they awaited the union of Princess Ayanda and Prince Zaire. In the palace courtyard, Ayanda's gown glistened with the embroidered patterns of her people, a symbol of unity for all tribes within Lyra. Her heart brimmed with hope. This marriage was not just a union of love, but a merging of tribes that would bring peace to the land. But even as the drums beat joyfully, a storm brewed quietly, threatening to unravel Ayanda's dreams. Hidden among the joyous crowd was Queen Medela, Zara's mother, her lips pressed in a thin line as she observed Ayanda. She saw not a princess but a curse, a stain upon their royal bloodline. In the dim corridors of her thoughts, she replayed the tales of Ayanda's ancestry, a lineage some whisper was tainted by dark forces. Queen Medela, though veiled in silk and grace, was steeling herself to destroy this union before it could take root. Under the cover of night, Queen Medela summoned her most trusted advisors. In her private chambers, a plan was hatched, each step designed to undermine Ayanda and sever the union. She would reveal proof of the curse that plagued Ayanda's family, documents she'd ordered to be forged to cement the notion of dark magic. Medela whispered her plan to her advisors, her voice cold and unyielding. The advisors exchanged glances, some uncertain but bound by their loyalty to obey. Medela watched her advisors leave with a sense of satisfaction, her resolve deepening. She had no intentions of allowing a cursed lineage to taint her son's future. Her disdain for Ayanda was more than superstition, it was personal, rooted in an old grievance between their families. As she extinguished the candles, Medela's face was set in shadows, unaware of the ripple effect her plans would soon have. The morning of the wedding dawned with Ayanda adorned in her bridal gown, her smile as radiant as the morning sun. She was the embodiment of grace, her eyes sparkling with love and hope. But in the grand hall, whispers were growing. Queen Medela had arranged for the forged documents to circulate among the guests, each page detailing the so-called curse that plagued Ayanda's lineage. The whispers grew louder, a dark undercurrent threading through the joy of the day. Ayanda sensed the tension, her heart fluttering with unease. Her gaze met Zaire's across the hall, his face a mask of confusion and concern. The joyous celebration was slowly unraveling, turning into a storm of rumors and fearful glances. Queen Medela stood aside, her lips curved in a slight smile, satisfied to see her seeds of discord taking root. Ayanda's happiness shattered as the ceremony was paused, Zaire pulled aside by his advisors. Her heart ached, her chest tightening as she saw him walk away, his back stiff and shoulders tense. Murmurs filled the air, faces of guests turning from joyful to uncertain. Ayanda felt the weight of their gazes, each look a needle pricking at her dignity and hope. Zar returned, his face ashen and eyes full of sorrow. He explained, hesitating, that there were concerns about her lineage, a revelation as shocking to him as it was heartbreaking for her. Despite her attempts to defend her family's honor, the ceremony was postponed and Ayanda was left standing in the midst of a broken promise, her dreams crumbling as Queen Medela watched from afar, triumphant. As the days passed, Ayanda's world spiraled into a storm of accusations and suspicion. She found herself isolated in the palace, her once bright future tarnished by rumors of witchcraft and curses. Queen Medela's campaign to paint her as a danger to the kingdom grew stronger, poisoning the minds of nobles and commoners alike. Every corner she turned, whispers followed, each one laced with fear and prejudice. Ayanda knew that to survive, she had to reclaim her name and reputation. She would need allies, voices to support her against the lies. Determined, she began to plan her response, her mind a forge of strategies. If she could sway public opinion, she could save her marriage and perhaps the kingdom itself. Ayanda found her first ally in Kamau, an influential elder known for his wisdom and integrity. Kamau had always seen her as a beacon of hope for Lyra, and he listened to her story with a heart open to truth. Together, they devised a plan to uncover Queen Medela's treachery and restore Ayanda's honor. Kamal, who knew the kingdom's history well, suggested that they reach out to the common people who believed in justice over superstition. Slowly, Ayanda began visiting villages, speaking to the people directly. She shared stories of her family's kindness, the traditions they upheld, and the values they passed down. Through her heartfelt words, she rekindled a spark of loyalty among the people, each story a thread binding her closer to them. Her journey had only begun, but the tide was starting to shift. Queen Medela's influence over the nobility remained strong, yet Ayanda's reach extended beyond palace walls. Ayanda's efforts to sway the villagers were taking root. Her supporters grew with each day, bringing tales of her courage and compassion back to the palace. The kingdom was divided, the rift between nobles and villagers deepening as both sides rallied for or against the princess. Ayanda understood that to win this fight, she needed more than words, she needed proof. If she could expose Medela's schemes, she might shift the kingdom's loyalty entirely. She planned to uncover the truth behind the forged documents, quietly reaching out to palace guards who might be sympathetic to her cause. Her resolve strengthened, her gaze unwavering, Ayanda prepared to fight for both love and honor. One evening, a guard named Malik approached Ayanda, his face marked with tension. He confessed to having overheard Queen Medela's plans to sabotage the wedding. With a solemn bow, he pledged his loyalty to Ayanda, offering to help her uncover evidence of the forgery. His bravery gave her hope, as well as a crucial ally within the palace walls. Under the cover of night, Malik and Ayanda sifted through hidden records in the palace's archives. After hours of searching, they found forged papers and hidden messages that confirmed Medela's schemes. With the proof in hand, Ayanda felt the weight of a victory in her grasp. She knew the next step, bringing the truth to light before the kingdom. Ayanda requested an audience with the nobles, presenting herself with all the dignity and strength she could muster. As they gathered, she stood before them, holding the documents she had uncovered. With a voice steady and unwavering, she exposed Queen Medela's plot, detailing the forged documents and the manipulation designed to destroy her. The nobles listened in silence, their eyes wide with shock. Ayanda spoke with passion, her words igniting a spark of realization among them. Some looked to Medela with suspicion, while others murmured among themselves. Ayanda knew she had struck a chord, but the battle was not yet won. Queen Medela watched Ayanda's accusations with an icy calm, refusing to yield even an ounce of guilt. She scoffed at the princess's claims, calling them desperate lies of a cursed girl. Her voice rang with authority, each word a heavy blow aimed at discrediting Ayanda. But Ayanda, undeterred, held her ground, meeting Medela's gaze with defiance and a calm that only truth could provide. The nobles exchanged glances, torn between their loyalty to the queen and the undeniable evidence Ayanda presented. Medela, sensing her hold loosening, took a more drastic measure, feigning a swoon and accusing Ayanda of attempting to poison her. Gasps echoed through the room, some of the nobles now casting suspicious looks at the princess. Yet Ayanda knew she had to remain calm, for the truth was her strongest weapon. King Kari, a wise and revered ruler, had observed the conflict quietly, aware of the stakes his decision held for the entire kingdom. Summoning both Ayanda and Medela to his private council, he questioned them in detail, listening to both sides of the story. While Medela spun tales of curses and deceit, Ayanda spoke earnestly, presenting the forged documents and accounts from Malik and Kamau as evidence. The king was troubled, torn between his love for his wife and the unmistakable conviction in Ayanda's words. He decreed a temporary suspension of Ayanda's marriage to Zaire to be reinstated only if her lineage could be proven free of any curse. His words were a blow to Ayanda's heart, but she understood it was a calculated step to maintain peace while she continued her fight. With her marriage on hold, Ayanda returned to the villages, her resolve stronger than ever. She spoke to the commoners openly, not as a princess but as one of them, sharing her plight and the queen's betrayal. Her honesty and vulnerability endeared her to the people, who saw her as a symbol of resilience against unjust rule. She became a beacon of hope for many who had felt oppressed or unheard in the rigid hierarchy of the palace. The villagers rallied behind Ayanda, their loyalty deepening with each story she told. They swore allegiance to her cause, pledging to stand by her against the palace's unjust grip. Ayanda knew that the support of the people was a powerful tool. If she played her cards right, their unity could be her ticket back into the palace's good graces. Zaire, deeply torn between his mother and his love for Ayanda, struggled with the accusations and tensions tearing his family apart. Despite the queen's manipulations, he found himself questioning her motives. Seeking clarity, he disguised himself and joined Ayanda on her village visits, seeing firsthand the respect and admiration she commanded from the people. Zaire was struck by her humility and courage, realizing that the accusations held no truth. Confronting his mother in private, Zaire demanded answers, accusing her of dishonoring their family and kingdom. Queen Medela deflected his questions, attempting to sway him with tales of ancestral duty and loyalty to royal blood. But Zaire's love for Ayanda was stronger, and he quietly resolved to help her clear her name, even if it meant going against his mother. Ayanda, sensing that her support among villagers was growing, decided to reach out to leaders of neighboring tribes. Each tribe within Lyra held a distinct culture and unique traditions, and Ayanda's mission was to win their trust. She promised that her marriage to Zaire would bring unity to all tribes, and the leaders listened, intrigued by her vision for a united kingdom where every tribe would have a voice. The tribal leaders, inspired by her conviction and the injustice she had endured, pledged their support. This alliance was more than a political statement, it was a powerful symbol of unity and diversity. With this backing, Ayanda's influence in Lyra grew stronger, and her efforts began to resemble a quiet but growing revolution. Back in the palace, Queen Madela was growing desperate. The voices of dissent from the tribes and villagers could no longer be ignored, and even her most loyal advisors began questioning her actions. Cornered, she confronted Ayanda in the royal gardens, presenting her with an ultimatum: leave the kingdom peacefully or face charges of treason. The queen's voice dripped with venom, her words a barely veiled threat. Ayanda, unshaken, refused to back down. She declared her loyalty to Lyra, vowing to defend her honor and her marriage. Queen Medela's mask slipped for a moment, revealing the desperation in her eyes. Ayanda sensed that she was close to exposing the queen fully. Her enemy's power was finally waning, and Ayanda was determined to see justice served. As the meeting progressed, a sense of unity permeated the room. For the first time in recent memory, the leaders of Lyra's various factions found themselves bound by a common cause. Ayanda's vision had sparked something deeper than mere loyalty. It had rekindled desire for justice and equality, a dream that now lay within their reach. Queen Medela was not blind to the storm gathering against her. She instructed her remaining loyalists to spread fear among the populace, warning that a divided kingdom would invite invasions and chaos. Stories of neighboring kingdoms' aggression were planted, rumors of impending battles circulating in whispers designed to terrify the people. She hoped to break Ayanda's support by instilling fear, turning her vision of unity into a perceived threat to stability. Ayanda, however, countered Mandela's propaganda by visiting more villages, assuring the people that her alliance was a symbol of peace, not war. Her calm yet powerful speeches countered the fear-mongering, restoring the faith of the people and strengthening her position as the kingdom's true champion of justice. As the days passed, tensions grew. Nobles who once held Mandela in high regard began shifting their loyalties, fearing the wrath of an entire kingdom's people united Ayanda's cause. News of Ayanda's defiance spread, reaching neighboring realms and attracting the interest of powerful allies. The neighboring kingdom of Jaro even offered to mediate peace talks, hoping to prevent an all-out war that would ripple across their own borders. But Ayanda was wary. She knew that Queen Mandela would stop at nothing to retain control. The talks could either seal her victory or spell her doom, depending on the allies she could secure in the coming days. It was a high stakes game, but Ayanda, now an experienced strategist, was ready for the challenge. Ayanda held a council meeting with the tribal leaders and influential nobles who supported her cause. The room was filled with the scent of incense, and the flickering candlelight cast shadows on the determined faces gathered around her. Each leader spoke in turn, sharing grievances about the queen's rule and pledging to bring their people to her side should the need arise. As the meeting progressed, a sense of unity permeated the room. For the first time in recent memory, the leaders of Lyra's various factions found themselves bound by a common cause. Ayanda's vision had sparked something deeper than mere loyalty. It had rekindled desire for justice and equality, a dream that now lay within their reach. Queen Mandela was not blind to the storm gathering against her. She instructed her remaining loyalists to spread fear among the populace, warning that a divided kingdom would invite invasions and chaos. Stories of neighboring kingdoms' aggression were planted, rumors of impending battles circulating in whispers designed to terrify the people. She hoped to break Ayanda's support by instilling fear, turning her vision of unity into a perceived threat to stability. Ayanda, however, countered Mandela's propaganda by visiting more villages, assuring the people that her alliance was a symbol of peace, not war. Her calm yet powerful speeches countered the fear-mongering, restoring the faith of the people and strengthening her position as the kingdom's true champion of justice. The day of the Peace Council arrived, with nobles, tribal leaders, and common folk gathered to witness a confrontation years in the making. Ayanda, dressed in royal colors and bearing the symbols of every tribe she represented, stood beside Zaire, a powerful symbol of their defiance against the queen. The air was thick with anticipation as Queen Mala entered, her face a mask of carefully controlled anger. Ayanda presented her evidence once more, recounting the injustices she had suffered and the unity she had fought to create. The crowd watched in silence as Queen Mandela struggled to refute the damning proof laid before her. Zaire's own testimony sealed the queen's fate. With his support, Ayanda's words gained undeniable legitimacy, the weight of the kingdom's hope resting on her shoulders. The council's decision was swift and decisive. Queen Mandela was to be removed from her role, stripped of her title, and titled to prevent further division. Her remaining loyalists were dismissed, and Ayanda was finally recognized as the rightful bride of Zaire, her honor restored before the kingdom. The people erupted in cheers, their voices rising in unison for the princess who had become their beacon of hope. Ayanda, now a symbol of unity and resilience, took her place by Zaire's side, vowing to lead Leah into a future of peace and equality. The kingdom celebrated as the chains of discord and superstition were shattered, and Ayanda's vision of unity took root, bringing new hope to the land of Lyra. As the kingdom of Lyra blossomed under the rule of Ayanda and Zaire, harmony reigned, and the tribes, once divided, stood united. The people of Lyra learned to look beyond superstition and prejudice, embracing truth and justice over blind loyalty. Ayanda's journey had taught them all a valuable lesson. Unity, founded on integrity and mutual respect, was the most powerful force for peace. In time, tales of Ayanda's strength and wisdom became legends, passed down to future generations as a reminder that true strength lies in resilience, compassion, and the courage to confront lies with truth. Her legacy taught the people of Lyra and all who heard her story that even in the face of division and deceit, a heart committed to justice can unite and heal. The moral of Ayanda's story is clear: never let fear or prejudice cloud the truth. Injustice can only thrive when good people remain silent. Stand firm, seek the truth, and let unity be your guide. For when we confront falsehood with courage, we pave the way for a world bound by understanding and peace.